Hello, fellow patriots. It's me, your favorite president, Donald Trump. Sleepy, crooked Joe Biden has joined Truth Social, and his campaign account has gotten more in a week than I've had since February of 2022. We just can't let that stand. So, I'm here to speak to the 4 people who are watching the Ron Purtee show and tell them how amazing I am, and to sing the world's greatest song. I have it written down here because you can't expect me to remember a damn thing. Oh, say, can you see, through the dawn's early light, what so proudly we failed at the Big Mac's last pickle? Oh, the rappers we watched while grabbing wet pussy. I don't remember what Republicans eat their young. Make America great again. God bless. No.
This is the Ron Purtee Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ron Purtee Show. We are live again. We are live and kicking and screaming. If you're here and you're watching the live feed, don't forget to chat. Let me see your comments. And you can see that I have Mardi Gras beads because I don't have rosary beads. And I'm trying to pray for a woman to come over and show me her boobs. So I'm praying on Mardi Gras beads. That's how that works, right? Nate will be joining us in just a little bit. He has some a private matter to handle, but I'm here, and there's all sorts of stuff I want to talk about this week. But I want to thank everybody for putting up with my bullshit, essentially, for having to hear me complain and worry and wonder what I need to do with my life. And all this time, it's been right here doing this. We are hoping against hope to really grow the channel and grow the show back to where it was before. I mean, there was a point where Spotify reached out to me and they wanted to interview me, not like for publication, just to like see what I would want to see is on the platform. And I got paid for it, and it was awesome. And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but but yeah, so that's where things were when the show ended before. But I had a lot of health issues. But here I am. I'm back. I'm still having health issues. I'm still having a lot of health issues. My foot is ridiculous. My ankle is ridiculous. My ankle, every time I take a step, my ankle's trying to run away from me. You know how when you're walking a dog and it starts running with the leash and you're just kind of pulled away with it? That's basically what's happening. But yeah, it's I'm still dealing with that, and I have a nickel-sized wound on the bottom of my foot. So I'm constantly laying on the couch. The fact that I got up to do this means I have a lot of dedication to you guys, to the people who support the show, and you all mean so much to me. And I hope you enjoyed former president, emphasis on the former, Donald Trump, his little message that was sent in last minute. He... and it was, yeah, so, but that was a lot of fun to do, except my head started to burn with that hat on. So I may start losing my hair quicker because of it. But it's, yeah, so I just want to thank everybody, and I'm going to keep doing the rosary on Mardi Gras beads so I can get a real live set of boobs in front of me. Dear God, please let me have boobs in front of my face. I would also appreciate a vagina. It has been far too long. And, the way I'm fondling these things, you'd think they were anal beads. I'm supposed to, I don't know how the rosary works. But, I mean, to be fair, when it comes to Donald's message, he might be a little off because another member of his team pled guilty. So he could have, yeah. So, but getting back to anal beads, when it comes to rosaries, you're supposed to pray on the one bead, right? Is that how it works? I'm a lapsed Catholic. I haven't Catholicized in almost 30 years. So I'm just rubbing them like my fingers are a butthole, and this never mind. So if you're here and you're watching the live feed, this is something special because we are not going to be posting the entire show video on YouTube. It will come down after the live broadcast, and tonight I will be posting the audio version to the podcast platform, and it's literally almost on every single podcast platform that you can think of. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, which I hear is going away. I don't know. It's on iHeartRadio, it's on all sorts of stuff. It's on Amazon Music. So if you have Amazon or it's even on Audible. You can listen to it on Audible. So you can put on your favorite self-help book and it goes right into it. Yes, even Skynet. It's even on Skynet, yes. Somewhere, Matt Smith from Dark Fate. No, it wasn't Dark Fate. That was Genesis. Terminator Genesis. And Matt Smith was the big bad. If you can believe that shit. But a lot of stuff has happened this week that I want to talk about. Like, for example, my therapist. I get a phone call from the receptionist today. Now, mind you, my therapy sessions are all over the computer. I don't have to leave the house, which works because I prefer my couch to somebody else's. But I get a phone call probably an hour before my appointment saying that they're sick. So they called in sick from their house. Okay. The thing about therapy is if you notice that all therapists are off the last 2 weeks of the year. When crazy people like myself need therapy the most, they're not there. It's almost like they're training us to get through the last 2 weeks of the year because they're off doing their thing. But the one person I would hate to be is the therapist's therapist. Like Peter Bogdanovich in The Sopranos. I would hate that. Because you're not just getting the person's issues, you're also getting the patient's issues that she's having, or that he or she are having issues with, and it's like a Russian nesting doll, and it's not fun whatsoever, at all. But so that's how my day started. A lot of fun, and then the weirdest thing happened is, so you ever meet somebody on a dating app and you're like, oh, this is fantastic, this is great, and she's not usually my type, but we're clicking, but then one thing or another kind of stops things and you can't you just can't commiserate in that way because it just wouldn't work. Either your dick is too big or what. But hold on a second here. I think we have somebody showing up. A very hairy man. Hey, Nate, how's it going?
Hello, everyone. So sorry about that.
How long does it take to get rid of a hooker's dead body?
Well, it took 11 minutes and 29 seconds.
Oh, okay, good. Well, now that we know that, I mean, if you think about it, killing a hooker is a good thing.
I don't know. I mean, like, it's a job that's not respected enough, and I think.
Well, hooker killing or killing, or hookers?
Crap. Yeah. Oh, that's
because I'm thinking it. The way I look at it is, you don't have to pay them. You can save money.
Yeah.
And you can get rid of a rug if you want.
That is true. That ugly rug in your living room right now.
Exactly. Exactly. Just get your rocks off and then bludgeon her to death, or he or she to death. Because let's remember, this is 2023. It could be he or she.
Yeah.
You bludgeon them to death, put them in the carpet and or the rug, and off they go.
2 birds with 1 stone, as they say.
Exactly. And yes, in the comments here on the chat, someone did say that he and I do know an expert of running over hookers, and we do.
Oh, nice.
It's not my story to tell, but someone I do another show with has admitted to hitting a hooker with his car. Apparently, Grand Theft Auto just wasn't enough.
Nice.
Yes. So if you aren't watching the live feed, you are missing all the comments and all the fun stuff, and you miss the visuals of the Trump video. But it will. The Trump video. No, the video will not be up of the show. All right. Like I was telling everybody else, it's just gonna be the audio, but I'm gonna be posting clips. And then once the show gets bigger and we're able to get people who are interested in the Patreon, we'll post the video on Patreon.
Perfect.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And the Trump video will be up tonight on the YouTube channel, and the audio of the podcast will also be up at all of your all of your podcasting stations. Station. So you were just on. I just gotta ask you something. You were just on the road and you went to the Pacific West.
Correct. Yes.
Geography is horrible. Because I'm in the middle, so who cares? But now you always hear how amazing a life comics have, and people are always like, "Oh, I'd love to be a comedian. You can do whatever you want. Blah blah blah. You just work up and stay on stage for an hour, and it's your whole thing for the day. Blah blah blah." How miserable are you? Let's be honest.
Well, so our first night of the run, first show, was in Pasco, Washington, at a place called Tri-City Taps. It's one of those.
We have a Tri-City bank.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those bars where you put money on a bracelet or a card, and you go to the taps yourself and pour them.
Oh, I saw that on Bar Rescue.
Yeah. So this bar did not promote the show whatsoever.
Like not even a flyer in the place.
Yeah. So it was a packed room, like a lot of people, but not there for comedy. And
been there before.
So we're set up in the corner. We decide, me and my road partner Manuel, who goes first or who goes second when we get to the venue. Like, okay, who wants to go? Who wants to go first? Who wants to go last?
Who wants to come on the cracker first?
Yeah, and so I went first. Did jokes to nothing. We had one table laughing. That was about it. The rest just got louder and louder talking. And sometimes time on stage goes by like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could do 40 minutes and I get the light really already. But this 38 minutes was the longest set I have ever done. It felt like 5 hours on stage, just miserable. Like I leave. I might. This might be my last show on earth, right here.
Wow.
That's how bad it was.
I've been there before.
And then the next night we were in Baker City, Oregon, at the Veterans Club, and they treat us like kings. They promoted the show. It was packed. The audiences were amazing. We went to an after party at this meth house. Somebody lost.
Were there a lot of hot chicks? No, see, that's another thing. Is being a road comic, was there a lot of hot women there? Or you said at a meth house, so
there were
a lot of gum jobs.
Yeah, I mean, in a small town, there are a lot of hot women, but they're already taken. Whereas in a big city, they're not taken yet, but there's so many, guys out there, they don't give a shit about you.
No, I really know that. Yeah.
Yeah, but so like in a small town, like there's no options anymore. So you kind of just
you don't have a boyfriend or a husband coming up like, look, you're a comedian, and when you get famous, I want to be able to tell everybody that you fucked my wife.
Well, I mean, there are in some areas, swingers that
wow,
like to get a little bit of action with the comedian, for sure, definitely. But I make jokes about vagina all the time on stage, and nothing happens. So it's like, I wish I can find a way, but someday, who knows?
I remember doing a set, and I said, I think one of the jokes was, about how I don't want a woman who looks at me and says, wow, he's a good provider. He's somebody. No, I want a woman who looks at me and says, wow, he can really put away those cheeseburgers. And I actually had a woman come up to me. She was shorter, maybe like 5'3", but every woman I date's short as fuck because I'm tall. But she's like, I like a guy who eats cheeseburgers. And then I went over to talk to the band. I think it was a Blank Fest. And I went over to talk to one of the bands and like, dude, you better go shoot your shot, man. She just said she likes a guy who eats cheeseburgers. And I'm like, well, hot damn. So I went and I shot my shot, shoot, shit, whatever. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. That's flattering, but I'm with someone. Then why the fuck did you come up and tell me you like a guy that like eats cheeseburgers? You fucking cock tease. That's another thing that bothers me though, is that I met this woman. I think it was a dating app. I forget. Or it might have been TikTok. I don't know. But she and I we were going back and forth. It was great. But then the religion thing kicked in. And she's super religious. I'm not religious. And so it just didn't work out that way. Yeah. And so we talk every once in a while. And then she starts talking about how we need to be like best friends. I'm like, what? And she started like messaging me all the time. And she got mad. I didn't respond right away. It's like, look, darling, I don't even talk like this with my best friend on the planet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
My mom. I don't
exactly,
and I'm a mama's boy. You know, like
I am a mama's boy, and I still don't talk to my mom's ashes all that often.
Oh,
yeah, I know. And I'm talking. I'm like, you gotta, just chill out. She's like, well, how am I supposed to get to know you if you don't make an effort? Well, I've had a lot going on.
Yeah.
I have a nickel-sized wound in the bottom of my foot. My ankle's trying to separate from the rest of my leg, and you're worried that I'm not responding to your shitty jokes? And that's something else. Is she goes, well, I think I'm funny, and I hate people when they say that.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, I think I'm funny. That means you're not funny. That's like, could you imagine, like, if Bill Hader had called up Lorne Michaels and said, hey, you should hire me, Lorne, because I think I'm funny.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I demand it.
Hire me so I can do imitations of Vincent Price.
Here's the thing. There is a benefit of dating somebody our sizes. Like,
that had nothing. Oh, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Because we're never going to run away.
We can't. We're too slow.
Yeah. And we got injuries, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you're going to have time to get to know us. Just be around it. It's like, we're not going to go, to Mars and never see you again.
Exactly. I mean, we might go to the Golden Corral and you might not see us for a few hours, but
yeah, I mean that's a given.
I mean, obviously. I mean, come on. But the thing that really killed it is that she was Christian. She's like, well, I want my kids to be raised Christian. And I'm like, well, then just tell them that I don't like going to church or something. I don't know. I don't have to. As long as you don't push that shit on me, I'm fine, But apparently it was too much.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like, can we just, we're all different. I don't know. Like my family's mainly Christian and whatnot, and they try to tell me every day that I'm leading a life of sin. And every day I tell them, I go, well,
is it because you wear Argyle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just very sexy.
Yeah, well.
Too sexy.
Argyle.
Too sexy. So it's like, I don't know. It's be you and I'll be me.
Exactly. Yeah, she should try Christian Mingle. I'm going to try J-Date because the last 2 women that I've dated were Jewish. And one of them had a 12-inch TV in her living room. And that's how we would cuddle up and watch movies. It's like, honey, you do realize that you can get a really big TV for really cheap. What? How do you mean? And I told her, and I showed her ads at like Walmart. You can get like a 70-inch TV for $300. And
it shouldn't be that way, but it is.
Yeah. You know what? I'm fine with it. And so she goes and she buys one. And she makes all these little changes that I suggest. And then she breaks up with me and says, oh, my therapist says I need to be alone. It's like, so your therapist says you need to be alone. But it kind of makes things funny because you were always never wanted your picture taken with me. We never did anything in public. We always just came back to your apartment and had sex. I'm a side piece, aren't I?
I would not trust that therapist when he said you should be alone.
No, because
Like
then 2 weeks later she's with somebody. I see a picture of her with somebody else, and they're on their way to see to Paisley Park. And I was just
was
the
it the therapist?
I mean, it might have been, but at that point, I said when I found out, I was like, "Fuck her, fuck him, and fuck Prince." I mean, Prince didn't do anything.
No.
You know, it's just like
He
he was
just-
collateral damage. He was a
Yeah.
Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
You know, but
Prince was in the line of fire.
exactly, and he was so short, I still shot him. You know, it didn't matter how big his heels were; he still took a bullet in the head.
Magic bullet.
Yeah, right, exactly. But the other day I was told I am too crass and vulgar.
Huh.
At a store that I go to, and it was like, think of the children.
Yeah.
It's like I don't talk, I don't talk like that in front of kids. I'm an asshole, but I'm not a fucking asshole.
See, to an extent, okay, I kind of agree. Let's say if you're in a playground or
Yes.
at church, but if you're at a bar, brewery,
Comic book store, a brothel.
in public,
Yeah.
bring your kids to the brothel day.
Yeah. It's bring your kids to work day for the hookers.
You're going to hear some language outside of your protective bubble if you take your kids out in public like that.
Well,
Sorry.
and I also thought to myself, I know I found out who complained, and I want to walk up to him, look him in the face, and just say shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. I just want to do that. I feel so bad. George Carlin, I'm sorry you went to jail for shit like this. It doesn't matter anymore. Lenny Bruce suffered and died broke because of this. And Richard Pryor, he set himself on fire. Oh wait, that was something completely different. I'm sorry. That had nothing to do with cursing. Unless that was God getting even.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Just like, you're gonna freebase some cocaine, and well, this is what you get.
It's a give and take,
It is. It is.
It's like me. If I go out in public and I see something I don't like, I'm not going to complain about it because I'm in public. I made the choice to come out here and or on TV. Like if I don't like the TV show I'm watching, you know what I do?
Turn the channel. Yeah.
I don't remember the very first TV show on Fox was, but it was Married with Children. That was the very first sitcom on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady sued Fox for having that show on because it was so offensive to her kids.
I'm sorry, my thumb is broken. I can't change the channel.
Exactly. That's how dumb we are as a society. That if you don't like it, change it. Yeah.
Why is it up to? Why is it up
have
to?
A gun to your head and say, "Hey, you got to watch this now."
Unless it's a Trump rally. You heard a while ago there was a rally and people were starting to leave because he just kept droning on that they lock the doors. They lock them in.
Does he really drone on? Because he makes very short, statements.
Just accordion playing.
Yeah, just a little bit of this. I think the president to have drone on is Biden, who just rambles on.
But you know what? I like everything that Biden's done. You know what I mean? So I just ignore. And the thing is with Biden, you don't have. He's not in the news all the time for doing stupid shit.
That's true.
And that's the kind of president I want.
He also reminds me of the Grandpa Simpsons.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
The way he talks, like, I put an onion in my pocket, and these kids are whatever. The mountains have a tree, and I glided on ice. What?
Yeah, exactly. Or when he gets really mad, he's like, invading the Ukraine. That's a paddling.
And it's better than
Hamas shooting missiles at Israel. That's a paddling.
I don't know. We got to take better care of our politicians, instead of them having strokes in public.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that. Well, I don't. Yeah, let's yeah. But uh, like how is comedy over in because you're in Wyoming,
Idaho.
Idaho, same thing. But
Sure.
what is
They
it?
all look the same.
Yeah, is it? All you white people look the same. Is it? Is there even a comedy like scene?
In Boise, there is. Boise is a college town.
Okay.
So Idaho is basically a red state, but Boise's like a blue city.
That and that's the way Wisconsin is. Wisconsin's a
Yeah.
red state, but no, I think we went blue for this last election. But Madison and Milwaukee are definitely. I mean, the intern will correct me if I'm wrong, but Milwaukee and Madison are definitely blue cities because college towns.
And we have a lot of talented comedians in Boise, as far as like great writers, great entertainers.
A lot of
Um,
potato jokes.
not. See, that's the thing. Like, they're taught like there's a thing about when you're a local comic, you just make local jokes, which won't work anywhere else besides your local. And so a lot of comics have figured that out and are trying to make their jokes more universal. That way they can take it from Idaho to Florida to Wisconsin and whatnot. Now,
Yeah.
granted, there are some local jokes, especially at the open mics and whatnot.
Right.
But but as far as like I've seen several scenes in my lifetime, from Minneapolis to Milwaukee to Illinois, and I can put some of the comics up compared to a lot of the good comics out that way. Like put them up side by side and like, yeah, they can beat them in a contest.
Oh. Oh, you mean so they can be like Dat Fan,
Yeah,
the guy
exactly.
who won what was the last comic standing. I hate those shows so much.
I mean,
I
it's reality TV. All it is, and if you look at it this way, it's that's the exposure you want. Not a free show in your hometown
yeah.
because the booker can't pay you. The exposure you want to be on TV. You want to be on uh you know that show at least for the first 5 episodes. Once you get past the first 5 episodes, you have a viewership, and if they decide to like you, they like you, they'll follow you.
Right,
Like
right.
Ralphie May came in second,
And
but
his career was way bigger
yeah, because he
in
had,
in many ways.
well, true, but he had the shit to back it up. Like
Yeah.
he was a working comic already, but that just put him over the top. Even though Daffan won first, it seemed like he almost won first place by getting all the gigs that
Yeah.
Daffan should have, but he didn't have the goods to back it up.
Yeah, that was well, and then you mentioned bookers who don't pay you. I remember there was a show that I was asked to be on, and they said there was two shows, and they wanted me to go on third in the first one, and I was like, okay, fine. And they weren't going to pay me because it was in town, but I could have gotten I couldn't even get free soda or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. And I remember being up on stage, and right before I go on stage, he goes, "Oh, by the way, this first show is a family friendly one."
Oh,
It's like I got 10 minutes on porn.
yeah.
You can't tell me that early. You know what I mean? Or that late before I go up. And so I go up and I do my joke and I bomb, obviously, because I have to keep it clean. And I remember my mom's nurse was one of the people in the crowd. And when she came to see her, my mom was like, "Well, what? Did you like the show?" She goes, "No, he's not very funny." And I'm like, "Because you watched the wrong goddamn show.
Yeah.
Just take a step out of church and laugh for once." The second, and then so he texts me, doesn't even come up to me at the event. We were in the same fucking building. He texts me and says, "Hey, I want you to go on first for the second show." Oh, so I have less time for the show I'm not getting paid for. And okay, so I get up there and I'm killing it the second time because I'm able to say what I want, and I've got all this shit built up in me, and I'm just I'm on. I'm really on. It was probably the best performance I've ever done, and I walk off 5 minutes early, just to say fuck him. And someone was like, "Man, you got him. Why don't you go back?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Because fuck you, I don't give a shit. And then when the headliner was on, he even made a joke about, well, maybe there's a lot of people here. Maybe this so and so will actually pay us this time. And I was like, damn. Damn.
That almost reminds me of a show I did in Wisconsin. I forgot the name of the town, but it's a little outside of Milwaukee, and it was a
Racine? No.
chicken dinner and a show. Rob Haswell, weather guy, Rob Haswell.
Isn't he from CBS 58?
I think so. He's
Okay.
some channel.
I'll be up at CBS 58 next month to promote Blankfest. So.
Well, nice.
Yes. And hit on a little midget woman that works. She's cute, but just because you're married don't mean I can't hit on you. Everything's fine unless I unzip my pants.
That's true. Don't do that.
No. Yeah, because she might like it. But go on, Rob Haswell.
He hosted. I headlined, or not headlined. I featured, and it was Paul Frisbee, I think, headlined. And so I got booked for the show. I get there, and that's when I heard the news. Oh, it's a friendly family show. Like, no, I got booked. They didn't say anything about that. That's time to prepare and whatnot. Like, I do have a few clean jokes, and I could fake it, but if you let me know ahead of time, it'd be a lot better. So now I'm editing on the fly, and so it just went. It was one of my worst sets I have ever done, and I've had a few, but this takes the cake. And I vow after that moment, if I'm in that situation again, I'm just going to be who I am. At least if I'm going to go down in flames, I'm going to do it the best I can.
Exactly. See, and that reminds me of a time when, for some reason, Racine was very, very slow on news. So they put me on the front page of the paper about like my stand-up, and I'm like, really, motherfuckers, really? You're gonna put that kind of pressure on me?
Yeah.
And I get a phone call a few months later from this woman. I'd never talked to her before in my life. I was doing laundry at my dad's house, and I had one of those old weird ass Verizon cell phones. And I was trying to eat my McDonald's because he lived across the street from one, which was horrible for my diet. And she calls me. She's like, "Hi, I have a yacht club thing coming up, and we usually get a DJ, but we wanted to get a comedian this time. Can you do 20 minutes?" It's like, "Sure, I can do 20 minutes." She's like, "Okay, well, how about you come over to this address and you can sign the paperwork, and you're gonna get paid $200." I'm like, "Oh, perfect! I love it. $200 for 20 minutes? That's not bad."
Yeah.
And I go to her house. I sign the paperwork. I'm like, "I'm sorry, can I use your restroom?" I go and pass through the kitchen to get to the bathroom. Pictures of Jesus everywhere. And then she says, "You do, after I've signed it, mind you," she says, "You do know that you're going to have to kind of keep this clean, right?" I'm like, "Well, I'm already fucking stuck now, and I could use the $200. So I get up there, and at this point, I didn't have time to prepare. It was like 2 weeks away. And I had no time to get to a mic. I had no time to come up with anything clean. So I gave out my Google Voice number, and I told to the crowd, and I said, "You guys can just text me questions and I'll answer them. How about that?" Yeah. And they did. And one of them was like, "Why aren't you telling dirty jokes?" And I don't know what happened to me. I think Bill Hicks entered my body for a moment because I pointed at the promoter, and I says, "Why don't you ask her?" And all these people at the yacht club thing were all fishermen. All they do on their boat is sit around waiting for fish and tell dirty jokes to each other. Yeah. My 5 minutes on Naughty Nurses 2, right out the window. Yeah. It's like Naughty Nurses 2 was made because they didn't say enough in Naughty Nurses 1.
That's true. That's true.
It's just or my I love doing my Jesus material, and I couldn't that one show because of the fucking Christians sitting right in front of me. Where I talk about how Jesus is great at parties, but he just can't pick up a handful of M&Ms. Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's like saying it's like saying I won't go to Hooters anymore because I didn't see any owls. But yeah, that's
food there.
They do?
Yeah.
Well, I was expecting some Harry Potter shit when they brought out my chicken wings, my overpriced shitty chicken wings.
Now, since that show about had to be clean on the spot, I do have developed a clean set where recently I just did the Northwest College Bible School in Nampa, Idaho,
Oh
and
my
it went
God.
very well because now I've learned to develop a set for that side of things, and
Yeah.
if I know it ahead of time, you know what, I can do it.
There you go. And then you can make Jesus laugh.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he loves to laugh.
Yeah.
He's had one hell of a life.
I told him one time, I was like, why I asked him, I says, why was Good Friday such a good day for you? Why was it good? And he says, because I got to hang out with all my friends.
Yeah, just a one day, one last dinner.
And Jesus is just hanging out with a bunch of male sailors, not implying anything.
I mean, I don't know why he has a good relationship with his dad because his dad killed him.
His dad's a fucking. Let's be honest. His dad's a dick. If you read the Old Testament, his dad is the kind of guy that will leave your gay teenage son with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, his mysterious ways, killing your children.
Yeah.
But or forcing you to kill your firstborn.
Who hasn't?
Right? Exactly. Oh, it's just a everyday thing. It's whatever. What day did it say that there would be light? I forget.
I think was it the first day or the second day?
Oh, if it was the second day, then I mean, how did he know Earth was there?
That's true.
But
he knows all. He knows all.
Oh yes, he knows all. Then why can he tell me?
He knows all your dirty secrets, America.
That's right, and he knows where you keep. He knows where you keep your crusty socks.
Whoever's listening, he knows what you've done.
Actually, I looked at the metrics for the show, and there's only one person in Scotland and one person in Germany.
Huh.
It's very odd, but there's one person in Canada. I think I know who that is, and then the rest is all American.
Okay.
America, fuck yeah!
Coming to save the motherfucking day.
Oh man,
can't really say the actual song because then they'll come after you.
I don't think the South Park guys give a shit. But no, earlier before you got here, I was praying on my Mardi Gras beads.
Oh, nice. Like their rosary beads?
Like a rosary beads, yeah. Hoping that I would get a woman with large boobs in front of me. But then I noticed as I'm going through, I said a woman.
Oh, sorry.
Keep your shirt down. But then I noticed I'm not like praying on every single bead. I'm just kind of running them through my fingers, and it's like, oh look, it's anal beads. I actually got these when we went to welcome my dad home. From the honor flight.
Oh yeah.
Okay. From because he was in Vietnam and all that.
Yeah.
And just seeing especially people who were in Vietnam, they had no choice to be over there.
Exactly.
I feel bad for them, and you just look at them and you see how downbeaten they are because of the shit that happened over there.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
Yes. And I remember in the Nightmare on Elm Street, okay, let's read some of the comments here because, hi, Joanna, how's it going? The intern's here. He's keeping an eye on the chat and refilling me with Mountain Dew Zero when I need it. Colin's here. He's the Canadian listener. Nice. I do have to apologize. If you come in the chat and I don't address you right away, it's because we're trying to do the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, Paul Billups, the bass player for Shameless Place, was here. Thank you very much, Paul.
Nice.
Be sure to listen to the playback tomorrow for what you miss. Of course you heard boobs, so you came in. That's just what we do. That's how we get people in here. Boobs. 80085 on your calculator, folks.
I just watched the new Pete Holmes special on Netflix.
I didn't even know he had one.
Yep, he has one. And there's a bit in there when he talks about how cell phones listen to you.
Uh-huh.
Like, he goes, I want to buy a big dildo. Dildos. I want some dildos. Dildos. Big dildos for your anus. And just kept going. He goes, shh, sush. I want dildos. Now, tomorrow, good luck on your Instagram ads. Like, brilliant.
That was, yeah. And you know what's really funny is I watched SNL. I think we talked about this last week, but I watched the SNL with Pete Davidson, and you can tell that there were different writers in the writers' room.
Yeah.
Like Pete's people came with him because the stuff he was in was the good stuff that he, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
Dave
So
Sears, who was, Mike Lawrence. I don't know if you know who Mike Lawrence is.
Yeah.
He was on the writing staff that week. And it was you could just tell. And I watched his show Bupkis, which Pete Davidson's, and it was really funny. And I'm on season 2. I mean, you get Joe Pesci in there as like an old crotchety bastard who's got cancer.
I love Joe Pesci.
He's great. I mean, he came out of retirement to do The Irishman and a Pete Davidson show.
Yeah, he's a true gangster.
He really is. Don't listen to his raps. That song is horrible.
Does he do rapping?
Okay? All right. I'm gonna submit everyone to this now because you have done this. Let's see. Let me find it.
What are these actors thinking that they're musicians? From Bruce
Yeah,
Willis.
oh God.
To who else was weird?
Keanu Reeves.
You got Keanu Reeves. You got Jared Leto. You got.
Okay, do not talk about Jared Leto. He's not. There's no Jared Leto talk allowed in this fucking chat or this fucking show.
I'm so sorry.
He's a fucking fuck that guy.
Did he
a little. My ears.
In the mouth ears. Okay.
Yes. All right, share screen. All right, here we go.
Or Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh God.
With his infamous radio thing in Canada. For the Canada listener, he was on that radio station and they tried to talk to him and not the band, and he got upset and like.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
No, it's not about me. Yes, it is, guy. I'm sorry. You're the star. People are gonna want to talk to you. I get you're trying to, promote your band and shit like that, but it's you, buddy. All right.
No shit. Okay, I don't know why
they wouldn't be anywhere.
This isn't letting me do it, which is pissing me off.
So I should look up Joe Pesci rapping.
Yeah. Let me get the name of it. You gotta. It's called Wise Guy, and there's an actual music video, and it is actually fucking ridiculous.
I mean, the concept already just is blowing my mind.
Yeah, if I could play it and you guys could at least hear it, I would be great. Like, I think we need to figure out something. It is that bad, Colin. What I want to do is I want to find a way to just kind of do this live over the air like a radio thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it costs money to do all that stuff. So if anybody wants to donate to the Ron Purtee Show so we can do the the live radio thing, so I can not be sitting at the desk with my fucking foot like this, that'd be fantastic.
Hey, what is your Venmo? Maybe they can donate to you on Venmo.
Oh, let me find out what my Venmo is because I can never remember.
I think it's just at Ron Purtee.
It is. Let me look. Because the other day when I used it, it was like the first time in forever. Yeah, it's at @Ron Purtee. Boom. Perfect.
Yeah, donate to the cause, and we can provide you a better quality show.
That's right. A way better quality show.
In fact, we can impose hot chicks in front of us.
We can.
It'll be our voices for sure, and it's gonna be like a shitty picture of a girl, so the beard's gonna come through, but it's gonna be amazing.
It is. 100% it's going to be amazing. Let me see if I can bring this back up because it was so bad, and I want everybody to suffer. But I hate fucking ads. All right, let's see if it works this time. Dirty fucking assholes. See what you did to me, Joe Pesci?
While you're looking it up, my favorite moment was in Baker City. I'm sitting in the showroom before the show starts. There's 3 guys sitting at a table at the beginning. And this guy comes in, short in stature, but has a big dick swagger. And he has a pristine mullet. Just well taken care of mullet. And he walks in, goes to the the group of guys, and he goes, "Well, well, well, you got time to come to a comedy show, but not time to come to work." And
Oh
the guy goes,
no!
all right, that's fine. I'm here too. Let's have fun."
What a fucking weirdo! Oh man, hold on. I'm
I got some
actually
scores settled.
hold on. We might have a guest coming soon, but I got not tonight. Sorry. I'm doing the jobs that a producer should do. But dear Tommy Shaw, no.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I don't want Shaw blades on here. Or sticks.
yeah.
But we don't have much time left in the show, so let's talk about some of the stuff we've in the news that happened over the week. Yeah,
Young?
Burt Young died. If you don't know who Burt Young is, he was Paulie in the Rocky movies. Somebody asked me what he died of, and I says, well, I think it's because Burt Young was old.
Ironic.
Maybe. Don't you think?
And then before that was Suzanne Summers.
Yep.
So
and then
no,
we actually got our third. We got our third.
What?
Yeah, it was Piper Laurie.
What? Weird. Oh.
Yeah. Piper Laurie. Okay. And wait, there was actually a fourth. So we might have to expect two more.
Oh no.
Laura Parker from Dark Shadows. I don't know if you ever watched Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
The blonde vampire.
Yeah.
Angelique.
Crazy.
Yeah. So she died. Piper Laurie died. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. You know, I wonder if people are going to laugh at Piper Laurie at her funeral. They're all going to laugh at you. Yeah, we're horrible.
We just talked about Joe Pesci. Everybody protect Joe Pesci right now. Everybody.
Yeah, because he's old.
Surround him. Give him all the love and support.
Yes, keep him working in a Marty Scorsese picture.
Yeah.
Did you see The Irishman?
I did. It was long, but I really enjoyed the character work.
It didn't feel 3 hours.
Not really. There was enough action, but like any good action, they have to have this slow stories within the fast. But all in all, I enjoyed it. It wasn't his best work, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I still think Casino is his best movie, and that's just because I think the third act of Goodfellas, when Henry starts going crazy.
Oh, on the coke.
On the coke, yeah, I think that's just like it loses the whole mob thing. Yeah, that's right. Bruce Willis is declining fast. Apparently, he's not even speaking anymore.
Yeah. Well, he's got that disease or whatever.
I don't even know what it's called. It's called
called marriage.
It's called I Wasn't a Very Good Actor to begin with.
Hey, Hudson Hawk was amazing. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
you die on that hill, sir. I still say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I'm one of those people. I think Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie more than Die Hard is.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't agree with me, whatever. I don't care.
Send hate mail at ronpurtee@ronpurtee.com.
I wish that was my website address. I wish it was. But if you have something that you want read on, if you want to comment on something we said, something we didn't say, whatever, you can email the show at theronpurteeshow@gmail.com. You can check out I'mUncleRon.com for everything. And the podcast is available everywhere, probably tonight still, before the midnight hour.
Ooh.
Here on WRON. Here's some smooth jazz.
KQRE.
Oh, God. You know what's funny is that I actually tried to get a job in radio, and I brought in a bunch of clips from a podcast that I was, this podcast, and I proved to them I can do it. I'd be a good on-air talent. And they were like, well, you'd have to pay to get a show. And I'm like, first off, you guys run Bill O'Reilly and Rush Limbaugh, and I'm just trying to get on the air, and y'all being foolish. Yeah, no, I'm not paying you to help support that when I'm a local guy who would bring in a ton of ratings.
Yeah.
I am the king of podcasts, after all.
You are the king of podcasts.
That's what I was told. There was a ghost appeared to me in my dreams, and yeah, I had a really weird dream where a buddy of mine was Dave Chappelle. But he talked like my friend and he acted like my friend, and he was like, "You're coming with me to the Oscars." I'm like, "Why are you going to the Oscars?"
We're crashing it, baby.
Yeah, and so damn. We get there, and it's like every room I walked through was the same room. Everything was the same. And then he had to make some speech, and he mentioned my name, and the crowd went nuts, and that's when I woke up.
Oh,
stupid bladder! Couldn't have given me 5 more minutes.
And then it was just a black guy in bed with you.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Woke
I'll.
the
And I was like, and I woke up. I'm like, excuse me, but I said I wanted to be the big spoon. You son of a bitch!
Greedy motherfucker.
I am a greedy mother. I'm a tender lover. I'm a tender.
You're the king of podcasts. You deserve it.
I do. I really do. And it's yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why I didn't realize a long time ago that this is what I should be doing. You know what I mean? Because it's like everybody's got a podcast now. So I kind of feel like I'm out of the loop a little. But I also remember that I started podcasting back in 2005.
Yeah.
And I was live streaming back then with like sites like Now Live and Stick'em and all this kind of stuff. And I remember I was on the front page of Stick'em every morning from 8 to 11. And I had like 10,000 people watching me every morning. Nice. Yeah. And but then they had the rape thing happen on camera. So I'm like, yeah, that's not no. Yeah. No, not gonna no. But yeah, it's just so here's the big question.
Go ahead.
For those this is more for the chat than it is for the guy who was burying a dead hooker. Yes, the Trump video, is that more of a visual thing, or should I leave it in for the audio version? Because there is some funny like physical comedy in it that probably wouldn't translate.
Yeah, I mean, I think you still keep audio and video somewhere, maybe.
Well, I'll have the audio. It'll be on the video. I can always rip it off there if I need to. But intern just told me video, and I think I agree with that. That might be a better idea. Because there's a bit where, I don't want to spoil it.
What about those visually impaired?
Well, then they better get some new eyes. Because there's actually a guy that comes in the comic shop who's blind, right? And he didn't even know I was sitting there. And he goes, "Hey, Ron, nice haircut." I'm like, wait. I thought you were blind. And I haven't had a haircut in 3 weeks. So I don't want to, and he's a pervert. Like he'll say like, "Well, I haven't seen that movie yet." And I'm like, "How do you see it at all?" And
he smelled you, first of all.
Well, I mean, hey, I actually have it next to me because my broadcast desk is right next to the front door, and I always stop and put on cologne on the way out. And it's Old Spice. And if your grandpa didn't have Old Spice, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. Okay.
So, and I don't think it smells bad. So, suck a fuck. And Colin even says video, and he's our Canadian correspondent.
All right, video it is.
Colin's our head of security. Intern is our intern. Well, he's more my intern than yours, but he's my assistant by mother. Because she shut him out after me. There's your
my intern.
There you go. Don't make me pull my. I actually have a legit puppet. Don't make me go get him. Don't make me go get Dr. Cuddles. Because I will. Yeah, Dr. Cuddles. He's fantastic. But I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. Don't forget, if you're enjoying everything, if you're on Twitch and you're watching, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube and you're watching, hit that subscribe button. And follow the show on all the social, on the podcast stuff like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. They let us on there for some. Well, that's their fault, but but it is.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
it is what it is. It is what it is. But I want to thank everybody. And what do you have coming up? You got any shows this weekend?
Yes, this Saturday, October 28th, 9 p.m. I've been doing comedy for about 24 years now, and I
Only?
thought I'd give back. Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And I wanted to give back to the Boise scene, so I'm doing a Nate Ford and Friends show. So I'm showcasing off the talented comics in the Boise, Idaho area at the Mad Swede Brewing Company downtown. If you go to Eventbrite, look up Blue City Comedy or Mad Swede Brewing on Eventbrite, you'll see Nate Ford and Friends. It's my mug, and buy tickets. I don't care
Yeah.
if you're in Canada, buy a ticket. The tickets are going to pay the comics. Okay, this is
There you
what
go.
this is what I'm trying to connect with people. Buy tickets ahead of time. That way we know that we do have a show and that the comics will be paid. I don't know how to
Perfect.
I don't know how to tell people that besides telling them, hey, let's be frank, this is how we get paid. So I'm looking for 80 people to buy a $20 ticket or one person to buy 80 tickets.
There you go. See, I think it'll all
Yeah,
work out. And you can find all that information on his social media at
yeah,
Comic Nate Ford.
correct.
You
Yeah,
can follow me on social media at I'm Uncle Ron. And I want to thank you all for being here. We'll see you next week.
awesome.
Bye bye.